बूंदा बांदी के बीच बेनीहामा फॉरेस्ट्री कैंपस में ये जंगली गुलाब का हुस्न, गुलाबी रंग में रंगे ये गुलाब के फूल, लेकिन ये है जंगली फूल जिसकी पत्तियां हैं छोटी छोटी और पूरे स्टेम के ऊपर हैं कांटे, बेशुमार कांटे। इसलिए इसको कहा जाता है थॉर्नी रोज, क्योंकि पूरी स्टेम में जिस तरह से कांटों का कवच है, ये बहुत ही डेंस थॉर्नी आर्मूरी है। और इसमें 5 पेटल्स हैं गुलाबी। नंबर ऑफ पेटल्स इज only 5, and this is the wild rose named after Webb. So species name is Webbiana, Rosa Webbiana. So it is also named as Webb's rose. It is called Sia in Ladakh, and in fact the Siachen name has also affinity to this wild rose which decorates the wilderness of Ladakh, cold desert of Ladakh. Everywhere we find fascinating flowering of Rosa babiana in the mountains of Ladakh, but it also grows in Kashmir. And you see the beauty of this wild Rosa babiana, thorny rose, Bab's rose, or West Himalayan rose, but this rose is also native to Central Asia as well as Pakistan and Afghanistan. So you see these are the beautiful flowering bushes of Rosa babiana, and this Bab's rose is also useful in medicinal therapy. For example, rose hips are used against gastrointestinal troubles, also recommended for curing the respiratory disorders. So this particular wild rose is linked to the culture and mythology of Ladakhis Buddhists. They keep the thorny stems inside house as a source of positive energy, and fruits called hips, they are harvested to prepare the rose hip tea, and also the gulukand syrup, which is administered to the infants during winter time. So this flowering rose, wild Himalayan rose, Rosa babiana, is one plant which need to be included in parks and gardens, all Mughal gardens of Kashmir maintained by the floriculture department. Another plant very near to this Rosa babiana, which I am able to see here growing, although it is drizzling, but despite that you can see the flowering of another wild salvia named in honor of Moorcroft as Moorcroft sage. So these leaves are born in opposite fashion, and this is mauve, blue, bi-lipped, 2-lipped flowers. So this is Salvia moorcroftiana, which has local names also. For example, one local name for this is Gatkongdi. Another is Lut. So this is botanically identified as Salvia moorcroftiana or Moorcroft's sage. Similar looking another cultivated sage is Salvia scleria, which is highly medicinal. But this particular Moorcroft sage is also useful in folk therapy. And when we see around in this biodiversity park maintained by the Department of Forestry at Benhama, so along with the bushes of wild Himalayan rose, Rosa babiana, we see the elegant golden flowering of cow Dutch, that is Berberis Lycium. So this is the beautiful bush bearing the golden yellow flowers. Petals are free, and this is from the family Berberidaceae. This is an example of eudicot, and traditionally the roots were boiled to get resount of commerce, used in Ayurveda and Unani against liver troubles, wound healing, skin ailments. So this is a reputed medicinal shrub having the phytochemical berberine, known to Kashmiris as cow Dutch, as if it is grape of the crow. Cow means kawa, Dutch means grapes. So when these flowers will mature into the fruits, berries, they will be dark purple and they are edible. One can innovate the barberry berries into sausages, also can be innovated as cow Dutch pulao. As Yasin Rishi, very expert in the cuisine making and herbal innovations, so I think he can pick up this lead and can innovate cow Dutch pulao that I innovated once. Very near I have another fig, and this fig is the fig which we usually eat or usually find in the market, that is Ficus carica. So this is the Syconium of Mediterranean fig, basically native to Mediterranean, Persia, Iran, and this particular fig also stands included in the germplasm, plant germplasm, and its leaves are quite large. Superficially it may resemble like fagwada, which is called as Punjab fig, but in Punjab fig or fagwada, leaves are not that large, they are not that thick. Even the size of the fig is also very large in case of Ficus carica, which is the true fig which is under cultivation in India now, and many people are dependent on livelihoods because they are marketing this produce, fruit produce in the market. So this is another fig which should not be confused with Punjab fig of Jammu Hills, which we are familiar as fagwada, since fagwada is Ficus palmata, although here also you have the palmately lobed leaves, but this species is Ficus carica, and this has nutritionally very important fig. Otherwise in the wilderness we have different figs which can also be included in the seasonal foods. So this is again the beauty of Rosa babiana, but nearby you have the Prunus armeniaca. This is wild apricot which we call sadi. So sadi, I am not able to find any fruits here on this particular plant, but definitely. So just nearby I have another member from Fagaceae, Quercus robur. This is English oak which stands introduced by Maharaja also in the Dachigam. This oak we find even in the Bandipura Chitranar School of Forestry. The School of Forestry at Chitranar was the first ever school established anywhere in India way back in the 1911 when the conservator W.H. Lovegrove was managing the forest management affairs in Jammu and Kashmir. At that time, he also introduced this English oak, which is Quercus robur. Leaves are obovate and literally they are divided. Here you have small bush. This is nothing but Lespedeza. This should not be confused with Indigofera because here leaves are mostly you find the 3 leaflets, but in case of Indigofera, leaves are unipinnate. Here they are divided into 3 leaflets, and most probably this is Lespedeza elegans. Near to Quercus robur, English oak, I am showing you another indigenous oleaster shrub. Oleaster, that is Elaganus umbellata or umbellatus. Its flowering taking place at Benhama in Kashmir. So since this month is the month of biodiversity, on 22nd May we will be observing International Day of Biological Diversity, and today is the 1st May, and 1st May is being traced in the Greek history as the day which was celebrated as Floralia. Floralia means the festival of flora. So let us enjoy the beauty of flora around in the Benhama forestry campus. And this Elaganus umbellatus, popularly called as oleaster, or in Pahadi language as Kankoli, Dogri name Ban Kanak, as its fruits, when they will mature, they look like wheat grains. Kanak is nothing but gehu, gandum. So its fruit resemblance, though superficial resemblance to wheat grains, earned it its local popular name as Kankoli or Ban Kanak. Even in Uttarakhand and Himachal, this is named as ghee vein in Hindi. And there are Gaddi who have another dialect, and they called it as Gehan. Gehan is another name of this bush, which will bear the edible berries called silverberry. So silverberry, which comes from the family Alagnaceae, to which Layberry belongs. Layberry, sea buckthorn, Hippopyraminoides, the family to which that shrub Hippopyraminoides or sea buckthorn belongs, is named after this genus, that is Alagnaceae. And this family is known for actinorhizal plants. Actinorhizal plants means those plants, shrubs and trees which fix atmospheric nitrogen with the help of microbe called Frankia. Frankia alni is seen in case of elder trees, but Frankia genus is also seen in the roots of this shrub, botanically identified as Elaganus umbellatus, Ban Kanak or Kankoli. And this row is the row of oleaster, and these flowers are quite fragrant. I am able to smell the fragrance of these flowers, which are having tetramerous symmetry, and leaves are typically hoary green on upper side and silvery green on the lower side. So it has earned its name as silverberry, sometimes also named as Russian olive. So superficial resemblance of leaves to olive has also given it the name, but olive is from different family. That's from Oleaceae. Olea europea is a true olive which is used for the extraction of olive oil, whereas in Jammu Hills we have Olea. Even in Udi we will find that Olea cuspidata or Olea ferruginea. Another Olea which is called Australian olive, that is found in Jammu Hills at Tikri, Chidai, and that particular Olea is called Olea paniculata, earlier named as Olea glandulifera, which has much broader leaves. So while wandering in the wilderness on 1st May, the day as per Greek history being devoted for the celebration of flora as Floralia. There was a tradition of establishing a flower post or flower pole which used to be decorated with different wildflowers. And on 1st May, the Greeks used to go to the wild forest areas and collect different kinds of flowers. A kind of Fool Day. Fool Day is also a festival which is celebrated in Uttarakhand on 15th March, 14th or 15th March, when the new Chaitra month starts. But in Greek, this is celebrated on 1st May. We have very fascinating germplasm conservation here. Even the horticulture fruit trees being grafted, and some wild plants also stands preserved. For example, this is thyme, which to me appears as Thymus serphyllum, locally called as jungly azwine, and this is also aromatic. And this is the pomegranate, Punica granatum. Another species under Punica is Punica protopunica. And I will show you the flower buds. So these are the flower buds, and flowering is yet to take place. And today also from this location, Benhama, I am able to show you this, the Gandarbal area and the Sindh river, which is flowing behind the golden flowering bushes of Spartium junium. But on the way I found another interesting Salus plant. This is called as Tragopogon gracilis. Also its leaves, they are edible. Although if I pluck its leaves, they will ooze a milk, latex. But this is used as salad. This particular leaf can be eaten. So this is goat's beard or Tragopogon genus from the family Asteraceae. And I will show you another chestnut. This is not horse chestnut. Rather this is Spanish chestnut or sweet chestnut, that is Castanea sativa. So flowering, you see from the leaf axils, they are arising, and ultimately they will bear a nut. The leaves are quite oak-like, and this is also a member of the Fagales order, and I think it should also be in the Fagaceae. So this Castanea sativa is also included in the germplasm collection in the Benhama campus. I am showing you now another bumsunt, that is Sidonia oblonga. Leaves are green above and tomentoes, hairy, cottony, grey beneath. And this is the perigynous flower. So sepals are attached at the rim of the perianth cup. And this is Sidonia oblonga, known to Kashmiris as bumsunt. But in Jammu region, this is called Behi. Dr. Raja Muzaffar has innovated bumsunt ice cream recently, and I was fascinated to listen how social activist based Raja Muzaffar is keen in developing new dishes, taking clue from the indigenous knowledge. Our younger students and scholars who are studying in the Sher-e-Kashmir University of Agriculture, Science and Technology also should feel fascinated and passionate about developing some new cuisines, taking clue from the local knowledge, people's knowledge. Now I have come across here the Artemisia, and this Artemisia is Artemisia vestita. So the Artemisia vestita is also growing here. It is aromatic shrub. Here I will show you cherry bark alum. So this is a small leaved cherry borkalum, Ulmus villosa, not to be confused with Ulmus wallichiana, which has larger leaves, much broader leaves and doubly serrate margins. But these bushes, small plants introduced in Benhama campus is Ulmus villosa, cherry borkalum tree from Ulmaceae family, and known to the Kashmiris as Bren. So this is Bren. After crossing the small rivulet channel, I am showing you another fragrant flowering willow, Ved musk, Salix caprea, pussy willow or goat willow. This is the willow which is early flowering. In our spring season, this is the first flowering willow in Kashmir Valley. So this is also growing here. This Salix to me seems to be Salix alba. In Jammu region we have Salix tetrasperma, but here Salix alba, and also Salix babylonica. Here we have cupressus. While discussing, they told me perhaps this is Cupressus tarlosa. I am not sure whether this is tarlosa or Arizonica, but this is cypress, no doubt. And there is another plant here which is called brimich in Kashmiri language, and this is Celtis australis as written here, and this is used as fodder tree, but in Kashmir I have seen this preserved around the graveyards in Baramulla, Shopaiya, and locally this particular brimich, Celtis australis, is called khadak in Dogri language, and this is the Kerika papaya, and here is Dodfrast. Dodfrast having leaves green above but white below. So this seems to be Dodfrast. I think this is Populus alba. Even the stem is also white, silvery white. This is Populus ciliata here. This row is of Himalayan poplar, which is known as Safeda. But in Jammu region we have very typical Dogri names for this Safeda. This Safeda is called Talunj in Bani area, where this is also known as Badota in Chenani Sudhmadev area. And this is called Rikni in Gurez area. Mawar, that is North Kashmir, Kopawada region. So this is Populus ciliata. Safeda is Urdu name, but in Kashmiri this has its local identity as Rikni or Talunj, as Safeda or Badota. This particular shrub before me, which is supporting or bearing the purple blooms now, this is the rosemary. Once classified in its genus, that is Rosmarinus officinalis, but now stands clubbed under genus Salvia as Salvia rosmarinus, not Salvia officinalis. Please just correct your taxonomy. That is Salvia rosmarinus, which was earlier named as Rosmarinus officinalis. This is an aromatic shrub and grown as aromatic crop for extraction of various essential oils. It can be innovated as a herbal tea, rosemary tea. And there is another Artemisia growing here. I think this should also be labeled as Artemisia vestita. And here they have planted even Deodar, Cedrus deodara. But I am able to see even Chau, Lal Chau, which we find in Jammu also, or Doda also. And this is Artemisia scope area, red stemmed Artemisia. So there is also the Artemisia absinthium here, and even strawberry. I will show you the strawberry flower here. This is the white flower, strawberry flower, Fragaria vesca, and here you find the fruits, strawberry vesca fruits. So this is also part of horticulture activity for the students of horticulture. And this particular pine before me is no doubt, this is Pinus, but then which species? You see its cone. Cone is quite unique. How its chocolate brown scales are arranged spirally, and at each point you find only two needles. Two needle pine. So this is not the familiar pine which we see in Jammu. In Jammu we have cheat pine, Pinus roxburghi, with the three needles, but here only two needles. So this is the pine with male cones which produce pollen, and that was the female cone which will after fertilization bear seeds. And here also you have the cone of this Pinus, which may be Halepensis, or let me discuss with scientists. And here I will show you the many male cones of this Pinus. This is also same, and this is a female cone. The gymnosperms dominated the earth vegetation during the dinosaur time, and this particular block stands devoted for the conservation of this Pinus species. And other side I've seen some Cotoneaster. Yes, this is Cotoneaster obovatus, rock spray shrub with white flowers. And this is the location where you have the different diverse kinds of conifers. I will show you another shrub which is bearing the golden yellow blossoms and adding color and charm to the ambience at Benhama Coast Forestry Campus on 1st May, the day being celebrated in Greece, Mediterranean region, as the day devoted to flora, as Floralia. So these are the bushes of Spanish broom, also seen in Shankaracharya mountain, and this has crotalaria like golden yellow flowers, but leaves are short-lived. Now I am able to show you the leaves, but ultimately they will fall down. They are early falling, and mostly you will see the bare branches sporting the golden yellow flowers. So this is Spartium junceum shrubbery here, and you have also cherry here. This is Prunus cerasus. So on a cloudy day, while wandering in the wilderness of Benhama Coast Forestry Campus, I could connect you to the nature, as this month we will be celebrating International Day of Biological Diversity. Theme of this particular year is harmony with nature and sustainability. Unless we are able to devise strategies for the sustainable utilization of bioresources, sustainable utilization of water bodies, sustainable utilization of soils, sustainable utilization of stones, sandstones, sand from the riverbed, we will be losing this sustainability. Ultimately, crisis will develop. We will have to develop strategies which are in harmony with nature, taking clue from the indigenous knowledge, as Dr. Raja Muzaffar rightly pointed out. Yesterday, while Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, we were interacting during 1670th tree talk, and today I just focused on the biodiversity at Benhama. I have interacted with students and talked about biodiversity inside the hall, but outside I am showing you the plants which are under conservation at Benhama campus.